Fargo, the new virtual assistant from Wells Fargo, makes banking faster and easier. Like this.
Fargo, what's my checking account routing number?
And this.
Fargo, turn off my debit card.
And this.
Fargo, what did I spend on groceries last month?
And that's just the beginning. Do you, Fargo? You can. In the Wells Fargo mobile app. Learn more at wellsfargo.com/getfargo.
Terms and conditions apply. Your mobile carrier's availability and message and data rates may apply. Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Hey, it's Kim Commando Today, your daily podcast to keep you up to date with all things digital and beyond. And I'd love to have you be a part of our podcast. You can make an appointment to speak with me. Just head over to commando.com, and on the top right, there's a button that says Email Kim. Fill that out, and that's it. I always like to start with something interesting. And Apple's been promising a lot of things over the years. The Apple Car, nope, we don't have that. Not here, yet. Apple's VR headset, well, we got that this past week. And guess what? Everyone loves it. It's just going to change the way that we all work, play, you name it. But there's one person who's not thrilled about it. Can make a guess. Say it out loud. See if you're right. Ready for it? Yes, Mark Zuckerberg. Remember the metaverse? That was Zuck's big dream of massive VR world where you could do anything as long as you didn't need legs. Anyway, Zuck poured $1 billion a month sometimes into it. It went belly up, and it was just dumb. So along comes Apple's Vision Pro. And here's what the sore loser had to say. Our vision for the metaverse is all about people, but Apple, every demo they showed was just some loner sitting on a couch. Ooh. Mark, you need to go home and play the game that you love best. You know what that game is? I Spy. That's right. Hey, listen, you're about to get more tech smarts because every single thing is a tech thing right now. And if you're a new listener, welcome. So glad to have you with us. And if you're already a listener, welcome back. I'm, of course, Kim Commando, America's digital goddess. It's the biggest show out there about all things digital. They're your most trusted source. And you can find my award-winning show on over 420 top stations throughout the United States. And you can find us as a podcast or webcast commercial-free at commando.com. In the upper right-hand corner there on the homepage, there's a big old yellow button that says Commando Community. And yes, I did say commercial-free. You can get a free 30-day trial over at commando.com. Just hit that button that says Commando Community. And a big hello and salute goes out to all of our listeners on American Forces Network Radio, reaching over 375,000 U.S. service members, serving in 175 different countries and 200 ships at sea. And I'm sure you have at least a few questions about something digital I can lend a hand to. And our T-Mobile Unlimited listener line at 1-888-825-5254 is open. And right now for all of your great phone calls. But if you're just too shy to come on a big-time show and podcast, I understand. I do. So you can just drop me your questions over on the website. That's commando.com, of course. And then there's a link that says Email Kim. All right, every single day I drop by just a slew of websites, about 30 different websites, to make sure you're up to date with everything digital. And these are the top 5 things that you need to know about tech right now, starting with number 1. The next presidential election is going to be an AI-fueled nightmare. Now, before we talk about this next story, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle that you're on or who you're supporting. I want you to just put politics aside and don't shoot the messenger, okay? I'm telling you right now, this is going to be an all-around, I'm telling you right now, this is going to be a major problem with the presidential elections, and it's taking off right now. This past week, the DeSantis War Room account on Twitter shared a video with loads of examples of Trump's support of Anthony Fauci. You know him, the COVID doctor, the former White House chief medical advisor. Well, weaved in with the clips of Trump discussing Fauci are 6 images of the two together. They're of Trump and Fauci cozying up, looking buddy-buddy. Some of them having Trump just laying a big old smooch on Fauci's cheek. Well, here's what you need to know. At first glance, you might just shrug the pics off, but half of those pics are now being identified as AI generated. They're deepfakes. Now, I'm telling you about this because anyone that is campaigning, it's bound to happen to them. So how do you spot the deepfakes? Well, you can try a reverse image search trick and just search the image with Google, just right-click on the pic. What you can also do is look at hands. AI notoriously gets hands wrong. Look at the skin and hair, too. Anything that looks too smooth or too shiny or too blurry, yeah, that should make you think twice. And also, what does your gut say? How does it feel? There's often an unexplainable but odd quality to AI images. And if you need that information, again, we have it all over on the website. Coming in at number 2 of our list of 5 things is the real story on EV mileage. And so if you're shopping for an EV, AAA put out the Ford F-150 Lightning electric pickup truck to a mileage test. And Just like gas-powered cars, the EPA rates how far you can go on a single charge. Well, the results are eye-opening. If you load the truck up or pull a trailer, expect the range of the vehicle to be reduced by up to 25%. Yeah. Customers are also reporting similar results for EV cars carrying 4 passengers. So add that to the luggage that you might be putting for a road trip, and the mileage will vary. So, of course, this does nothing to soothe potential customers' so-called range anxiety. That's the fear of being stranded with no charging station in sight and how long it's going to take for a full charge. So nothing against EVs, but you're not going to hear this at the dealership. And if you want, you can always buy a DeLorean. This one you can only drive from time to time. Yeah. All right. Coming in at number 3, listen up. You have kids on the IG because you know how Instagram, when you like a photo or a video, it shows you more of the same stuff. Well, the Wall Street Journal, along with folks from Stanford University and the University of Massachusetts Amherst, they have discovered that Instagram's algorithms, the very ones that are recommending those funny memes and stories and dog videos and all that other stuff, are also directing pedophiles, sickos, to people selling child porn on Instagram. And they're not just selling photos, but also videos, even ones featuring self-harm and bestiality. So here's the deal. The researchers set up a test account. They started viewing content from these networks, and then bam, Instagram's algorithm kicked in and started suggesting more accounts peddling this vile content. So just a few clicks, and that was it. If you have kids on Instagram, get them off. Coming in at number 4, you want a tip for just doing your job? Yeah, that's right. These iPad payment systems are working out so well for businesses that it turns out wherever you go, you're being asked if you want a tip. A study at Cornell University found that if they suggest a bigger tip, people will actually tip more. And then the tips, they keep going up and up. Well, I actually have an example of this. My friend Nicole runs an awesome hair salon, and she does my hair too. And on her iPad, she had options for 15%, 18%, and 20%. And I said, hey, Nicole, why don't you do it for like 20, 25%, and 30% and see what people pick? Well, studies always report that the number in the middle is the tip most likely to be selected by most folks. And so, yep, it happened to Nicole too. Her tips went up from, say, 18% to 25%. And this coming in at number 5, I can see. That's right. I just wanted to say a huge thank you for all your prayers and good wishes because a couple of weeks ago, I got a corneal transplant, almost 3 weeks ago now. And it happened because, well, I got a transplant about 40 years ago. When I was a kid, I got hit in the eye with a stick. Yes. It started going bad in 2017, but that was when my mom was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And so I was her caregiver, so I couldn't really take care of myself. So after she died from pancreatic cancer in 2021, I went on this mission in order to figure out what I can do to get eyesight back into my right eye because my vision in my right eye at that time was 2400, which means that you're legally blind. So I went on all these doctors, went to UCLA, Barcom Palmer, Cedars-Sinai, all over the board, and I had my corneal transplant about 3 weeks ago, as I said. Dr. Aldave at UCLA Einstein Institute did it, and I'll tell you, things are going great. I'm so excited. I can see 20/60 out of that eye. Of course, I'm going to have the stitches for, I don't know, about another 3 or 4 months, maybe even up to 6 months. And they said the vision isn't going to stabilize for about a year, but I'm super excited. So how can you donate your corneas? Yes, you should. In many states on your driver's license, you can just check a few boxes. Make sure you want to tell your family members and friends. Now, you may notice that my voice is a little softer because I have to really limit things that I'm doing. But I'm so excited to do the show, but I can't lift anything heavy. I can't jump around. So I'm just taking it easy. And if you want to see some pics of my beautiful new eyeball, well, just cornea, and all the stitches, Dr. Aldave did such a great job. Just go to Instagram.com/KimKim. All right, coming up in our privacy tip, we're going to tell you about some dangerous apps that you need to delete right now. And also later on, how you can track your luggage this summer, the easy and fun way. And of course, we have all of your great phone calls here on Kim Commando Today.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
Hey, since we launched the new newsletters, we call them Commando 2.0 newsletters, we've been getting a lot of questions from people who want to start their own newsletters. So I am so jazzed to have Katie Huff with us here on the show because let me tell you, she is amazing. She's become one of the go-to folks when you want to talk about making money with email newsletters. And I know this for a fact because Katie and I, we've been working together for several months. Let me tell you, she is tremendous. So whether you have a big business or you're just a small-time creator just getting started, if you don't have a newsletter for your brand, let me tell you, you are just missing out big time on a major opportunity. And that's why Katie's knowledge is so valuable. Okay, she's got a long history, a big background in this, a very successful history. She's been a key player behind the advertising at The Hustle. I don't know if you ever checked out that newsletter, but it's probably one of the most popular newsletters in the world. And then it was acquired by HubSpot. And then Katie's like, oh, you know what? I want to go do my own gig. I want to be my own person. I want to ride my bike through Pennsylvania if that's what I want to do. So she started a company called MadRev with one of her friends, Ben. And now they're helping publishers like ourselves sell ads and make money with our email newsletters. So, Katie, thank you so much for being here. Now, I know how you got started into the newsletter business, but why don't you tell everybody else?
Yeah, first off, incredible intro. I wish all my high school teachers could hear me now. That's quite the bar you set. Nice to chat with you, Kim, more formally. So I got started, I just kind of fell into advertising about 10 years ago, was doing, working in a company that was in IT sales. So we were selling like display ads, like the little banners you see on websites when you go look at like msn.com or whatever. And then newsletters were just really interesting because it was just so personal. It's just like a personal connection with the audience. And not to mention, it's a really easy sale. If I'm being honest, it's not too many moving parts to it. And as a person who likes easy money, it really appealed to me. So I've fallen into it and I cannot get out, but it's a lot of fun. I get to work with people like Kim and other hotshots within the media landscape.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you because I think anytime I sell something to somebody, it always takes a lot of work, doesn't it? I mean, in order to convince them, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of, I have my friends who don't really like fully understand what I do. I describe it as like sending emails, just begging people for money every day. But yes, it is certainly a slog. But it's a lot of fun, I think, selling ads because it's like a relationship sales versus transactional. So that's been an upside of it.
There just seems to have been this upsurge lately with newsletter growth. Is that right?
Yeah, it's definitely, I'd say, on the upswing. In fact, working at a newsletter, you said like, oh, The Hustle is one of the biggest newsletters, which is true. But I would guess most listeners probably haven't heard of it. It's like really popular in this, I don't know, micro environment of like Silicon Valley and maybe New York City, Wall Street, and like these tech workers. But I still think there's so much green space for all these other types of listeners who might be, maybe their version of email newsletters is the coupon they get when they buy something at Target and then they get, a 50% off sale for Father's Day or something.
How much money can you make with a newsletter?
You can make a ton of money and you can make not so much money, which is, I'm sure, an amazing answer. And people love that. It depends on like, okay, so if you're listening to this, like picture someone that you like, maybe like, okay, I'll give you an example. There's this guy who writes a newsletter. Specifically, his niche is people that own e-commerce stores, so like online stores. And he charges, I don't know, probably $20,000 to run an ad in his newsletter because he has a really concentrated slice audience where it's people who are running these stores.
Now, it's all sold on CPMs. And for those of you who aren't listening, that's a cost per thousand. Here's a little fun fact. If you're listening to a song, say streaming on Pandora or Spotify or Apple Music or Amazon Music, whatever it may be, for every 1,000 listens, that artist is going to make, say, Weekend, Drake, whoever it may be, they're going to make 0.0038 cents. Or their CPM will be $3.80 for every 1,000 people who listen. So it's all based on CPMs. So what exactly is a good CPM?
Sheesh. It's a tough question to answer because there's so many variables. But I would say a healthy CPM maybe is between like 10 to 20, and I would target that. If you had a newsletter that was just reaching, the everyday consumer, and people are reading it and clicking on the ad links, that's important. You would probably expect between 10 to 20 bucks.
Now, what about the open rates? And then you also have the unique open rates. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Oh, Mama Mia, we're getting in the weeds here. So open rates, I think of 40%. So that means if you send it to 10 people and 4 people open, that's a pretty good newsletter open rate. And unique would be like, 4 unique people opened it versus 4 people opened it twice, then that could be like 80% total open rate. But that is so much math, and I shudder to get deeper into that.
So that was not one of your strong points? Is that what I'm hearing?
I am in sales for a reason. And I did pursue 1 semester of accounting in college and quickly realized that's not where my IQ lies.
I really appreciate you, Katie. And so, and of course, if you want to buy ads in the Commando newsletters, we would love that, right? Jess, absolutely.
We would love, and we'll make sure that ad is so perfect, and we'll white glove service. We'll write it with just the most delicate care. No, Kim, it's been absolutely a treat working with you and the team. Everyone I've talked to that works with you is so wonderful. Whoever hiring, I'm sure you're heavily involved, but if you have a recruiter, hats off to them as well, because you've really assembled a lot of lovely people under the Kim umbrella.
Well, thank you, Katie. Thanks for sharing all your know-how with us. And everybody's probably sitting there saying, I'm going to go out and make my own newsletter right now. And, you can start by doing research and make sure that you sign up for my newsletter, of course. Head over to getkim.com.
Yes, everyone should sign up for Kim's newsletter. It's great. And if you are a brand looking to advertise, definitely reach out and we can help put together a campaign that makes sense.
And the address is?
If you have a newsletter and you want help selling your ads, we are called MadRev, and that's MADREV.co. Someone in greasebot.com, and it's too much money to get it from them.
So that's madrev.co. Hey, thanks, Katie.
Yes. Thanks, Kim. Great chatting with you, and have a fabulous day.
Wow, there's some great intel right there. Hey, something I want to pass along. Some smartphones have sensors that can detect magnetic fields, mainly so they can figure out your phone's orientation. But they can also be used to sense metal objects. What you want to do is download an app like Smart Metal Detector by Smart Tools or Metal Detector, and then you can actually use your phone to say, find a lost screw or something else that maybe you dropped on the floor. Now, you can't use it on the beach to find those wedding rings and make the big bucks, but it's good for some little things. We have links to the apps over on the website. Hey, stay right where you are. We have more of your great phone calls and more tips and tricks that you don't want to miss here on Kim Commando Today.
Let me tell you about a revolutionary new mobile voicemail app. If you've got a business, your voicemail is probably filled with messages from customers. Often the messages don't contain all the details you need. But what if you were able to get visual information from your callers? That's something you can't do with a traditional audio voicemail box, but you can with Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail. With Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail, callers receive a link to download the mobile app. There they can view important details about your business, watch videos about what you have to offer, and then leave you a video message. Actors and musicians can showcase what they do, and callers to medical practices or repair shops can report their issues visually. There are so many things that video voicemail can do for a business that makes audio voicemail a thing of the past. Discover what video voicemail can do for your business. Visit getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com.
All right, coming up, we're going to tell you about some dangerous apps that you need to remove. And then later on this hour, you're going to be traveling. Let's not lose your luggage this time, okay? And before we get back to all of your phone calls, I want you to look in between the cushions and check under the pillows, search your kitchen counter. That's normally where you're going to find the TV remote, right? But here's a trick. You can say goodbye to all those days and just use your phone. If you're tired of constantly looking for your television remote, here's an idea. You can use your smartphone as the remote from now on. You're not going to lose that. All you have to do is download the right remote app for your TV, and then you're in control. But first, a little techie trick. You have to make sure that your phone and TV are connected on the same Wi-Fi network. Then you download a remote control app for your TV. You can find apps like Samsung SmartThings, LG TV Plus, and you just open the app up, connect your phone to your TV, and that's it. No more digging around, between the cushions, the pillows, looking for that remote because you have your phone. It's just right there. All right, let's go back to the phones with James in Christiana, Tennessee.
Well, Kim, I got hacked last summer, thoroughly and completely. Some folks came into my Wi-Fi range, and literally everything from the security system to my cell phone has been compromised. So, like, the option of rebooting your cell phone is not really an option because it has a whole different OS on it now. In that sort of a situation, what can I do?
Okay, so how do you know that you've been hacked? Give me some examples.
Give you some examples. They have left, on error, I'm assuming, they have left open spreadsheets showing that they have turned our TVs into microservers. They have turned the onboard cameras that are in some of the TVs and the security panel. They have turned those against us, and they've shown up on a website, 163dvd or dvr.com. There has been, gracious, they've even come into the house. They have, we could talk probably for a couple hours about everything that's happened, as this has been ongoing for over a year.
Now, obviously, you've contacted what? The local police, the FBI?
Law enforcement.
Okay.
I have contacted the Sheriff's Department out here, and I have also contacted the FBI a couple of times. I have yet to hear anything back. I've had the sheriff out here 3 times. We were under the assumption initially that we were being set up for burglary because, they have complete control over us. And we simply can't afford to take everything out and replace, the Wi-Fi and the TVs and everything throughout the house. We just can't do it.
Okay. Well, let's talk about what you can do. Okay.
Okay.
And you're doing the right thing, James, by contacting the feds and the police and the sheriffs to see if there's something that you can do. The thing is that it becomes a difficult proposition for me to do this. Just us talking on the phone.
I understand.
But what I would do is I'd start at the beginning and where that entry point comes into your house, and I'd find a new cable provider, change my cable accounts. I would I would do a factory reset on the router, maybe even get a new one. Factory reset on all the Wi-Fi devices.
Right.
Get new phone accounts.
Wow.
And take the computers down to factory reset them, start over, change every password I have, change my bank accounts, put Google Alerts on my name, and get some identity theft protection. It becomes a real problem. It does.
I've been dealing with this and fighting them tooth and nail for a year, and literally at their mercy for the most part.
Now, one of the things that you have to remember that we have been determined in a lot of research is that when this is happening, it's sometimes somebody who's close to you being the victim. And so you need to look in your circle. Who did you let in?
Right.
Who may be disguised as someone else.
Carrying a grudge, right?
So, and that's where I want you to think outside the box a little bit. Maybe even you and your partner, your husband, your wife, whatever that you guys say. Okay, who might this be? And the reason why is that as I've been helping people deal with this, it seems more of an issue is that it does always seem to come back to somebody who somebody knows. Like there was a situation that a mom called me, James, and her daughter was being stalked online.
Right.
And the person was saying, you look pretty today, and you had pizza for lunch, and it was like, well, how does this person know this?
Right.
And she had just broken up with somebody on Tinder and all this other stuff. So anyway, bottom line is that a year and a half later, through some work that we helped her do, is that it was somebody who she knew,
right,
who was pretending to be somebody else.
Right.
So that's why, we can, you have to, it's a multi-pronged approach whenever this happens, is that of course, you're going to contact the law enforcement, but look at every single thing that you do online. And sometimes you have to make a whole list, make a list of every single thing and start replacing and changing that every single thing from start to finish. And don't leave any stone unturned. And then also limit who you allow on your Wi-Fi and make sure that Wi-Fi is locked down as best it can be. Not using some wimpy little password there. And you start looking for other signs. As you said, things are popping up, things are showing on the screen. My phone's overheating, and I'm seeing email that I didn't send. Right? It's not an easy task, and just think about this. Then, if you need any help whatsoever, just give me a call back. And James, thank you for your call. These are always really tough calls for me to take, I have to tell you, because there's only so much I can do between me and them and the phone lines. It's pretty nuts. All right, it seems like every time I turn around, there's another list of dangerous apps. Like, for example, this one, Super VPN. Okay, this is why I say you should never use a free VPN. This is free. It has 100 million downloads across the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. But they had this massive breach. 360 million user records were leaked. Email addresses, IP addresses, geolocation, unique user identifiers, visited websites, operating systems, devices, online activities. Yeah, as if that's not bad enough. Get this. Super VPN was listed under developers with connections to China, right? No secret that the Chinese government is spying on us. So if you got Super VPN on any of your devices, just remove it. There's also a slew of fake chat GPT apps that are going to charge you subscriptions or malware or worse, maybe our keylogger. And they got names like AI Chat or Genie AI Chat or GAI Assistant. Now, there is a real chat GPT. It's free to use. It's a $20 subscription monthly fee. Okay, but it's not mandatory. You don't have to pay for it. Then, of course, we had another list of 100 popular apps that have spyware in them. Things like Zappia and VFly and Crazy Drop. And don't worry about these. I'm going to tell you we're going to get a whole list. I just want to bring it to your attention. Then there was something called Spin OK malware. More than 100 apps again with malware. Oh my gosh. And some of these have millions and millions of downloads, like Jelly Connect, Crazy Magic Ball, Mega Win Slots. Okay. And then Bitdefender recently found 60,000 more Android apps. We're talking about fake videos, fake Netflix, fake security. So bottom line is this. Most of the time, you're going to see these fake apps in the Android store, the Google Play Store, because Google just doesn't vet any app that really wants to get in there. So if you have an Android device, even if you are hanging out the official Google Play Store, you need to be really careful about what you're downloading. Now, we put together this whole list of hundreds of apps that I want you to make sure that are not on your Android device right now. And of course, they're over at the website, hitcommando.com. That's KOMANDO.com. And we're also going to give you the steps to make sure that you delete apps for good from your Android phone and also from your iPhone. If you're on Samsung or OnePlus phones, there's actually an uninstall option under the app shortcuts menu. But again, you'll find everything all written out for you over on commando.com. That's KOMANDO.com. When you're there, hit the link that says Kim Show. All right, still to come, you're going to be traveling. You don't want to lose your luggage, do you? Well, there are some tech ways and fun ways that you can track it here on Kim Commando today.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.
All right, if you are not getting my daily free tech email newsletter, you're just so missing out. It's Commando 2.0 newsletters. You've heard me already talk about it with Katie, but I haven't really given you the pitch to try it out yet. So if you were one of those folks who used to get the newsletters and hated them, I understand. They were kind of sucky, but they're great right now. So head over to commando.com/subscribe and sign up. Once again, that's commando.com/subscribe. Todd in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, I just want to thank you for taking my call, and it's an honor to speak with you. I really enjoy your show and love getting your newsletter every day.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yeah, what I got going on is an elderly parent with a little touch of dementia at times has some out-of-control online shopping. And I was just wondering if there's some kind of software program, something out there that could minimize that, control it, stop it, whatever. I'd say the main problems when he gets online is Amazon and eBay purchases, but it's not totally limited to that. It could be a solicitation through his email,
Sure, a phishing scam or something like that. So how's he getting online, Todd?
Wi-Fi at the facility where he's now staying.
No, I mean, what kind of computer, tablet, laptop, phone?
Well, okay, I left that out. He's wanting a new laptop. So he just has his iPhone with him, which he only does, I think, email on that. Mm-hmm. Pretty sure. Of course, he can access the internet through their Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But he's pretty adamant right now about getting a new laptop. And so I thought, well, if we're going to do that, then if there is something out there to help with the online shopping problem, it would be time to, get it put on the new laptop before I actually give it to him. So. Well,
what kind of phone do you have?
It's a Motorola Android.
Okay, so you have an Android. Okay. The reason why I was hesitating is I was thinking that, maybe we give Dad an iPad with an external keyboard so that this way we could set up family sharing and parental controls and activity monitoring and then also if your dad was part of a family group is that you can enable something called Ask to Buy feature for the account. And so that allows you to approve or decline any app or media purchase that he wants to make, and then it gives you control over some of the spending. But barring that, if you want to get him just a nice little Windows laptop or whatever it may be, is I would put on some parental controls. Now, Windows has some pretty decent parental controls built in. And so definitely we have links on, you can walk you through all about just setting it up. And so you can set controls on when he can use it, the apps that he can use, the ability to change passwords. I would definitely, as far as with spending limit is get him a credit card with a daily limit, right?
Yeah.
So that this way if he blows through $50 or $25, whatever it is, that's going to be, he's just not going to work anymore.
Right.
But, it's you're in kind of a hard place because, he wants his freedom, but you still need to make sure that he's safe and everything that he's doing.
Right.
So
exactly.
Now, if you look at the parental controls that are built into Windows, and that's not quite enough for you, there's a program called Custudio. That's Qstudio. And it's a little bit more robust as far as the ability for you to get in there and manage in-app purchases, control the screen time limits. You can view reports. You can get notifications about what your dad's doing, how much time he's spending on each app, the websites that he's visiting. So this could also help you understand what he's doing, and then also on the other side, help you address any concerns that you may have as far as what he's doing. Now, of course, the only problem with a Windows laptop is that sometimes it can be a royal pain in the neck. Because it has updates, doesn't always work the way that it should work. How much time you want to help him on that's totally up to you. So that's why I'm thinking like maybe a tablet might be the way to go, because this way we know he's just gonna put his little finger on it and it's gonna be good to go.
Right.
But Windows has gotten a lot better over the years, so something for you to think about. Right. Okay. But because you're on Android, you can actually tap into probably Windows parental controls a lot easier than if you are on an iPhone. So that's going to be your best bet. So take a look at the laptop, make sure that's got all the updates. Of course, you're going to turn on everything that you can, put some internet security software on there, and then set up those parental controls. So this way you can limit that shopping on the laptop. If you need any help afterwards, Todd, just give me a call back. I'm always right here for you. Hey, if you have an older adult that you're taking care of, make sure that you hit the website, because I'll tell you, I put together all these great tips that will really give you peace of mind most of all. especially if you're going to be using one of those Echo shows. So again, just go to Komando.com and search for, say, older adult, Echo, elderly, and then I bet you it's going to pop right up for you. Okay, nothing can put a damper on your travels like a lost suitcase. So maybe you bought a few air tags to track your goods, but a lot of people don't know that you can actually track your baggage by using the airline apps, like, for example, United Airlines, American, and Delta. Now, this isn't new, but again, as I mentioned, a lot of people don't know that it's in there. So here's how it works. Once you check your bag, you can use the airline's official app to follow your bag on its journey from check-in to the final destination. And then you're going to get notifications at different stages of the journey. Like, for example, when your luggage is loaded right onto the plane, when it arrives at the destination airport, when it's ready for pickup. You're going to get everything just right there, notifications right from the app. Plus, there's really a great map. This is really fun. It shows you exactly where your luggage is at any given time. And if you're traveling this summer, make sure that you always download the airline's official app, because aside from this, you get notifications for delayed flights, if there's a change of gates, and all good things like that. But, let's keep it real. There's still a chance that your luggage can get lost, right? I mean, even if it's being tracked by everybody. So be sure that you pack all your essentials right there on your carry-on. And do me a solid and a favor. Tell 3 friends about the Kim Komando Show, which you can get as the Kim Komando Today podcast, because everyone needs more tech smarts. And knowledge is power, and things in the tech industry just change second by second. And again, 24/7, you can always find me at Komando.com.
This program is a copyrighted production of Westar Multimedia Entertainment and protected by the copyright laws. Any rebroadcast or use of this program for commercial, business, economic, or financial purposes without the written permission of Westar Multimedia Entertainment is strictly prohibited.
Hello, saver. Whether you're saving for that trip to the tropics or saving for an emergency, now is the time to take advantage of Wells Fargo's savings options. Wells Fargo offers savings accounts that can help you save towards your goals. So, what are you saving for? Visit a Wells Fargo branch or wellsfargo.com/save to open a savings account today.
Wells Fargo Bank, N.A., member FDIC.
Get cash for clothes at Plato's Closet in North Charleston and West Ashley. It's so easy. Recycle, earn cash, repeat. We pay cash on the spot for your trendy, gently used clothing, shoes, and accessories. At Plato's Closet, we buy all seasons, all day, every day. It's time to clean out your closet and cash in. Bring in your denim, graphic tees, athletic wear, shoes, handbags, and more. Sell your styles to Plato's Closet for cash. Then, do it again. Plato's Closet, located in West Ashley on Sam Rittenberg Boulevard and North Charleston on Rivers Avenue.